Hello and namaste. Welcome back, my dear friends. So far, we have explored the concept of Brahman, the infinite eternal consciousness that underlies all existence. We have seen how the universe, in all its complexity, is a manifestation of this cosmic principle. Today, we will delve into the very core of Vedanta, the zenith of its teachings. Why does Brahman matter to you and me? Is it just a theoretical concept? Vedanta insists it's deeply personal. In fact, it makes a mind blowing claim. You are that Brahman. This radical assertion is encapsulated in the Mahavakyas, the great proclamations, as they are called, strewn throughout the Upanishads. The most famous of them are these four: Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, Tattvamasi, you are that Brahman, I am Atma Brahman, this self is Brahman, and Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is Brahman. On the face of it, these look like incredible and unbelievable statements. I am Brahman, the all pervading consciousness from which the entire universe emerged. How is that even possible? I am a puny human with limited power. My body is fragile and mortal. My mind is limited. The universe existed long before I came into existence and will continue to exist even after I am gone. How can anyone in their right mind claim that I am Brahman? First, let us understand what Vedanta means by these statements. When Vedanta claims I am Brahman, it's not referring to the physical body or the fleeting mind. It points to a deeper reality, consciousness itself. This consciousness is the animating force behind all perception, thought, and action. We see because consciousness pervades our sense organs, and we think because consciousness underlies our minds. However, in our daily lives, we are unable to separate the body and mind from the consciousness that animates them. To understand why this confusion arises, we should first understand what makes living beings alive and aware. In my previous video, I spoke about life as a heightened sense of awareness. Why do living beings have awareness, but no inanimate objects seem to exhibit it? According to Vedanta, the entire universe is consciousness. While consciousness is everywhere, only certain instruments can manifest it. You can imagine consciousness as something akin to light. When you look at an object, say a rock, what are you actually seeing? You are only seeing the light bouncing off the rock and hitting your eyes. Although there is light all around the rock and light coming from the rock in all directions, this light cannot serve as a source of light. It cannot illuminate other objects. You cannot hold the rock up and read a book with its light. Now contrast this with a mirror. When a mirror reflects light, it becomes a source of light. Mirror has a special property that makes it possible to become a source of light by reflecting another light source. This property of the mirror differentiates it from a rock. Similarly, consciousness pervades everything, but only living beings have the equipments capable of reflecting and channeling this consciousness. This consciousness channeling equipment is called Upadhi in Vedanta. You can assume that Upadhi is like a mirror which is able to reflect the all-pervading consciousness. Just like a light reflected on a mirror becomes a source of light, the consciousness reflected on the mind becomes a source of consciousness. The clarity and brightness of this reflection depends on the nature of the reflecting surface. What differentiates a human from an animal is the quality of this equipment. Human mind is an evolved equipment which is highly efficient in channeling this consciousness. That's why we are capable of higher orders of consciousness like self-awareness and free will. Whereas for other animals, their equipment is not as evolved. That is why they do not have capabilities that human mind possesses. Every living being is channeling the very same consciousness. The only difference is in the type of upadhi they have, which limits the extent to which they can channel this consciousness. In contrast, inanimate objects lack this capacity. They are mere reflections, without the ability to turn the light back on themselves. Thus, while consciousness pervades all existence, its manifestation as individual consciousness is contingent upon the presence of a suitable upadhi. So, if we are this all pervading infinite Brahman, why do we feel limited and mortal and fragile? It is because we have identified ourselves with the upadhi, the body, mind, and sense organs. This identification creates a sense of limitation, vulnerability, and separation. It is similar to identifying with a mirror which is reflecting the light. When we identify with the mirror, we superimpose onto ourselves all the limitations of the mirror, like its fragility, mortality, and limitedness. The key to liberation lies in recognizing our true identity as the light that illuminates all the mirrors. Then we will be freed from all the limitations of the mirror. Vedanta says that liberation is this mental transformation, recognizing that we are the all pervading and immortal consciousness, not the body or mind. We have mistaken the reflection for the reality. By understanding that we are the light itself, not merely the object illuminated by it, we transcend the limitations of individual existence. The Mahavakyas challenge our fundamental sense of self. They assert that our true identity is not this limited body and mind, but the boundless consciousness that pervades all existence. We are not merely contained within the body and mind, but are the very essence of the universe. Let me help you understand with the help of another analogy. Imagine the vast infinite ocean as pure consciousness Brahman. From this cosmic ocean, countless waves arise. Each wave, with its unique form and movement, is a manifestation of the ocean, yet believes itself to be separate. It thinks, I am limited in time and space, I am ephemeral, I am mortal. It has to jostle with other waves to survive. It experiences joy, sorrow, fear, and desire, all within the confines of this wave like existence. However, the wave is not the ocean, it's merely a temporary pattern on its surface. Its identity is illusionary, a fleeting moment in the eternal expanse of water. The true nature of wave is the ocean itself. All it has to do to free itself from pain and sorrow is to identify with the limitless ocean. Similarly, the individual self, with its body, mind, and experiences, is a wave on the ocean of consciousness. We identify with the wave, believing it to be our true nature, but the reality is far vaster. Our essence is the ocean itself, infinite, eternal, and ever present. To realize this truth is to awaken from the dream of individuality and to experience the boundless freedom of being the ocean. Once we realize this, the world, often perceived as a collection of isolated individuals, becomes a tapestry of consciousness. However, this is easier said than done. Discerning pure consciousness amidst the constant chatter of the mind is undoubtedly challenging. Our minds are conditioned to identify with thoughts, emotions, and sensations, creating a sense of self that is constantly fluctuating. To recognize pure consciousness, we must first understand its nature. It's not a thought, a feeling, or a sensation. It's the silent witness to all these experiences. Consciousness is the backdrop against which the drama of life unfolds. It's the unchanging awareness that observes the ever changing mind. Our mind, which is riddled with thoughts and constant activity, covers this consciousness. The goal of every spiritual practice is to achieve this mental transformation by focusing our attention inwards. Take meditation for example. The goal of most meditation techniques is to help us create a distance between our thoughts and glimpse the witness consciousness. You can imagine consciousness as the blue sky, ever present and always blue and unchanging. You can think of all your thoughts and sensations as the clouds that cover the blue sky. As your mind calms down, it becomes less clouded. As the clouds disappear, you are able to get a glimpse of the ever present blue sky. When you learn to observe your thoughts, you can get a distance from your thoughts. You realize that you, the observer of the thoughts, is different from the thought itself. The goal is to cultivate an attitude of a neutral observer, observing the mind's activities without judgment. As meditation deepens, the gap between the observer and the observed widens. This distance allows us to recognize the true you, the pure consciousness that underlies all experience. Vedanta insists that liberation is not an escape from the world, but a transformation of consciousness. Just as we instinctively identify with our physical body and mind, a liberated individual instinctively identifies with the infinite consciousness. It's a shift from seeing ourselves as a limited entity to recognizing oneself as the boundless Brahman. The world, including our personal dramas, becomes a cosmic play observed from a detached yet compassionate perspective. Fear, sorrow, and desire, which are rooted in the belief in a separate self, naturally dissipate. This realization, termed Sarvatma Bhava, is the ultimate goal of Vedanta. Sarvatma Bhava is a Sanskrit term that translates to seeing the entire universe as myself. It's a state of pure bliss and freedom. It's a core concept in Advaita Vedanta that encapsulates the realization of non duality. In this state, there is no I and other. The entire universe, with all its diversity, is experienced as one's own self. It's like a vast ocean recognizing itself in every wave. Let me repeat. It's like a vast ocean recognizing itself in every wave. What a shift, isn't it? There's a profound sense of compassion, love, and equanimity that arises from this realization. It's important to note that Sarvatma Bhava doesn't negate individual experiences. Joy, sorrow, and other emotions continue to arise, but they're seen as transient manifestations of the underlying consciousness. There is a deep sense of peace and fulfillment that comes from recognizing one's true nature as the all-pervading self. मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कार चित्तानि नाहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकार रूप चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम. I am not this body and mind. I am devoid of duality. I am formless. I am omnipresent. I am the embodiment of consciousness and bliss. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. If you have not already subscribed, please do. If you wish to be reminded whenever I post a new video, please click on the bell icon for reminders. If you like this video, please like and share it with like-minded people. Until next time, Namaste.